So this is Peaceful Acres just south of the Springlands Spire. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's one of the most popular places to go to when you come out of the vault. The cinder vault, that is. Obviously it's pretty quick and pretty easy to get to, but when you get here, this is what you get. Ramshackle fields, a broken down farmhouse, and a barn that, quite frankly, has seen better days. But this place has solid potential. It always has done. And this is really what you can do with it now. You can really rebuild it and turn it into a practical and very pretty base. You can make it a full working farm. You can add your animals, add the creatures you need, rebuild the farmhouse so that you can actually house several of your NPCs, turn this into a fully working base. You have all the field space, available to use. And then there's lots of land that comes with it. Now obviously this is with a level 4 altar, and it will cover the entire place and a little bit more. And it doesn't come with any water, but with the fact that you can now build waterways means that you can turn this into whatever you want. So that's a quick glimpse of what you can turn it into. Hey guys, welcome back to Enshrouded, and this time, so they went and rebuilt Peaceful Acres, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I built or rebuilt Peaceful Acres back in the day when it was just a farmhouse and it had a simple shed outside, and this time I'm going to show you exactly what I did with it, because they've added so much more to it. They made this a proper farmhouse. So as you can see, I have goat pens back here. Because, what would be a farm without the animals? And you're going to want all that frizzy goat's milk and such. Added this cobblestone path to the outside and to there, just to make it a nice smoother run. Obviously we have the yaks in this pen. Normally they're here with their nose actually sticking over the fence, but this time they've decided to climb on the hay bales. I was going to say that it's almost like a rendition of Find Wally. There's 4 yaks here, and yet I can only see 2, which does suggest that we are probably going to find some wandering around this place as I go, because, as per usual, you add animals, you add chaos, and that is just the way it works. So here we are. You can see I've used a nice sort of, brick flooring here for the courtyard. And I thought, first things first, I love the sound of water. I want it to sound very peaceful. So let's just drop into first person here. So you can see I've made this very kind of scrappy looking it's just a sort of a small, I don't know, it's not a greenhouse, I was about to call it a shed. Well, it's just a nice sort of, little place to sit down. As you can see, somebody's having a cup of coffee here and some tea. And this is where they'll just be, sitting, listening to the water. You can hear the sound of the water wheel going around. Watch the fish swimming around in the pond. And over there, a small altar to the flame shrine. Just over there. Well, that would add nice, and obviously there's a lot of sort of, colours and that going on here. Of course you would rain. Absolutely. It's like being in England all over again. Okay, so let's head round. Give you a quick scan of the courtyard. It is so much better when it's sunshine, but you know what? We can make do with this. Fine. So let's take a walk around. Head under the alcove here. You can see I've had an awful lot of it. It's almost like an old English garden, which I took a look at some of these plants recently. One of the players I spoke to on Sweetie Pie's stream. So she's a streamer, she does Enshrouded, she does a lot of building. And one of the players on there, Yay It's Bum, I saw some of her gardens and the way she places her plants
that, and I took a few ideas from that. I mean, it's not the first time I've been laying out plants. I've been laying them out for a while, but the way she laid them out was very natural looking. Whereas I always feel mine are just sort of, you know, almost plonked down. As you can see, I've placed some sort of little seating areas, so people can sit down, reflection. There's a little gate area there, so you can get out to the back. There is actually there's a shrouded area over the back which has a salt mine, which is pretty useful. Some dried fish there, because here we have a very sort of, you know, natural looking place. Again, a little outside area to sit down and eat. Not when it's raining, of course. You know, I was rather banking on it being sunshine when I did this, but hey, no accounting for the weather. Sitting here, we've got some coconut smoothies, some fish and rice, and normally the captain is loitering around here, because here you can see we have the fish grill, which is kind of undercover. And obviously a little place here, not only can you catch the fish, you know, nothing better than fresh fish. So obviously you can catch the fish here. Then you can fillet them, or steak them, whichever you wish. Then obviously here we have the fish grill, which, you know, the captain can quite happily cook for you. Although, to be fair, I've seen the rate he charges for coffee. I mean, that guy, what a rip-off. 5 gold pieces for a coffee? Like, how bad did inflation get in Embervale? It's almost like certain brand coffee shoppers moved in and charged prices for coffee. There we go. Little area for the chickens there. Nice little sleeping area. You'll see them running. Yeah, there you go. Just on cue. There's one running around. So this is where I placed the flame altar. Just here. Now, what I like about this new Peaceful Acres, the way they've designed it and this, is that you have this walkway up there. I mean, this wasn't here before. It had some fields outside, as I recall. But they've done this beautifully, so you have this winding path up. I replaced some of the fences here, but I wanted to leave it not quite in its original state, but little archway into here. But look at all these fields that you get. Now you get an entire... This is a proper farm now. You get an entire growing area for all your plants. When I say all your plants, I mean, you know, you're talking about a level of growing and food production on an industrial level here. I mean, look at it. I mean, I've put in a bit of every sort of plant going, really. But if you were to take over this place, I mean, you know, obviously you sort out the types of food you need, the types of food you want, and plant appropriately. As I say, I put a bit of everything. Also need to thank, you know, It's Plum for... Yeah, I know, I've stuck beehives on the side of trees. This is, you know, this is not new. I'm sure people have been doing it for ages, ever since we had the tweaking system. For some reason, I never thought of it. Something as simple as that, I'd never thought of it. Again, when I went on to Sweetie Pie's server and was watching her build and helping her quest, and yeah, I saw you know, It's Plum had she'd placed these beehives in all sorts of places and decorated really well. So I took a look and thought, why didn't I think of that? Something so simple, and yet there you go. Still got my little guard gnomes on as well. I've gone out to this view so you can actually see more over, so you can see exactly how much field you get and how much is planted here. The amount I've planted, you can see some bare patches as well. You know, this should give you the scale of what you've got here. Obviously, the altar I've used is a level 4 altar, so, you know, don't expect to just, you know, plonk a bulk standard altar down and this is what you get. And here we are, just here at the top of the waterfall. As you can see, it goes all the way down there. Oh, almost. You know I'm going to end up in there. Oh no, well, yeah, okay, he says. And back to the waterfall. Which brings us nice and neatly back down to the courtyard, which is where I wanted to be. So let's head along here. You've seen all this. Now, obviously, you're going to want a place where you can cultivate your seeds. You can get everything ready. I mean, whatever you're going to plant, you're going to want, you know, stacks of it. And for that, you're going to need a greenhouse. I tried using all the assistants this time instead of all the main NPCs. You can just see Oswald's daughter doing the blacksmithing there. Probably taking a break from her father. So here you can see we have all of the little beds for all the seedlings. I've decorated up like a greenhouse. I put a few pots laying here, there, buckets as well. I mean, this looks chaotic. To me, this is like, you know, almost every greenhouse I've ever walked into. You know, there are plant pots everywhere, which tells you a lot about the places I go to. I like these sort of stone round pillars. I've used those and then placed the rustic tables in on top of them. Well, a nice mixture of stone and wood there gives it a real, in my opinion, a rustic feel. Okay, see a level of more garden gnomes, more plant pots. And then as we come out here, obviously we are the opposite side there of the little water garden house over there. And of course, you know, it's all very well making it very pretty and very beautiful, but, you know, this is a base as well. You know, you want it to be practical. So that is what we've done. Not only do we have the blacksmithing area out here, because, again, I know it's a game, but realism. She's going to bake if she's doing that smithing inside, and everybody else who's working in there is going to fry if you put them inside. So let's head up into the courtyard. And let's take a look. I've turned this barn into a workhouse. Now you'll be able to see two tones of floor here. So where you see the darker floor, that is the shroud wood. And that is what was originally here, because this place is broken down. If you come here, and you can see that we use the half timber. Well, Vale and Glen there. I've used him as the hunter, and obviously he is sitting, well, it would have helped if I placed that the right way, wouldn't it? He's supposed to be sat at the spindle, so it looks like he's actually creating the clothes. Down here, obviously, where we have the water mill, we also have the grinder, the millstone. So you can see here we have various things that need milling. We climb up here, we can see we put them in there, and then we have it as the water wheel turns. So it turns the grinder. More storage over here. Again, this is a nice little workshop. I've left it open as it was at the top reasonably well, and I've had to repair some of it. But in here you can see you can fit all of the hunter's tools. Not only that, but these curtains here really for decoration. I was going to put some clay pots on that table, because obviously that's the kiln where you create all the clay pots and such from. And then through here, you have the carpenter's area. Now I've used Aunt Braylon because I am trying to use all of the assistants. But this character hasn't opened up everything yet. She's still only level 30 something. You can see we have all the decorating tables, all the necessary, and I left the original repair station in here as well. Just for effect. Now that, I'm not going to take you up there. You can get up there. There is a silver chest as well up there. And obviously I highly recommend you loot it. However, I have stored all of the stuff that I use to decorate this place. There are boxes everywhere. It's not my usual nice, neat, organised manner. So we are not going up there to look at all that. You can see the glow of the chest up there. Now, before we go into the house, let's take a quick look at this place at night. Because using all these lights, you can get a really beautiful effect. See all the way up to the top there, to the fields. Now here you go. This is the kind of place, you know, if I'm going to be sitting at a late night, just chilling out, this is where I'm going to be. Now the floor here, I've just placed stone tables into the flooring here to give this lovely pattern on the floor. And this is what it looks like at night. It's the kind of place really. You've got some nice light over the other side there. Just the kind of place you want to sit, listen to the water, relax, chill out. Like I say, I've used some of the, I'm going to call it new, it's new to the game so far. Right, we're going to take a quick walk around here, because I've already shown you around here. But we'll go and take a quick look at the waterfall at night. And I think just about everybody and his dog is doing this with waterfalls at the moment. I mean, let's face it, you know, who wouldn't? I mean, that is so beautiful to look at. You've got, you know, all the luminescent growth under there. You can see the fish swimming around and using the new colour balls from the Vale water. I mean, again, lovely water sound. What is not to love about that? So colourful. Now, moving on, because we've seen all this, let's take a quick jog round. I mean, I could just edit that and cut it out. I won't, but I could. Let's head into the house. Now you can see you've got your smoker outside here. This is where you put all your meats and things like that. So I put that outside and covered it over. Now this one I covered properly because of, yep, just on cue, the rain. Here we are inside the house. Now all of this floor was broken up. Obviously I've used the, I think this is the polished granite flooring I've used. It's one of the granite blocks. Right, so let's take a wander in. So first area is the dining room. So you can see there we've got absolutely stacks of you know, jugs, mugs, plates, dishes, bowls. A nice fireplace here. Just to keep you nice and warm when it's miserable and raining outside. And of course I kept one of the original occupants. I just decided I was going to leave him there. I mean, he used to live here. It's about time now that the place is done up, you know, to a certain amount of luxury. I couldn't, I felt sure if I got rid of the chair that would probably disintegrate him as well. And I thought, you know what, no, he deserves a nice place. He used to live here. Thank you very much for your place, sir. It is greatly appreciated. So now you can enjoy all of the luxury and everything else. Not what a meanie, I didn't even put a coffee in front of him. You should at least have a coffee from our little coffee area over here. It's a little bit dark obviously because it's night time. But there you can see again we've got sort of teapots up there if you prefer tea. We've got mugs, several coffees laid out here. We've got the bean grinder and of course the coffee maker just there. Nice little archway leading into the kitchen. Went for a different style of kitchen before. You know, I'm trying to make my kitchens a little bit different because I'm sure if you watched any of my other videos you'll be, oh look, it's the kitchen. And I don't want to do them same old, and it's sometimes it's difficult to come up with new ideas to change them out just a little bit. Hopefully, new crafting kitchen there. Hopefully, I've done it just a little bit different from normal. I don't want to keep feeding you guys the same stuff over and over again. So I am trying to make it, like I say, just a little bit different. Nice warm fire there, nice warm brick place fire. Over here you can see again there's all of the salt sauces, spices, cups. And of course you can see I've tried to put the tomatoes in the basket there. Fresh meat on the side, ready for preparation. It's actually Fergus who works the kitchen this time, because obviously I'm normally pretty fond of putting Emily Frey into the kitchen because of her recipes and that, but, you know, Fergus is an assistant. He is the other farmer. Not only works the fields, but... So here we are, another nice little seating area to sit in if you want some quiet after dinner. Read some books, look out into the garden. And over here, plenty of books to choose from, plenty of books to read. A nice little chair over here in the corner for someone to curl up on and go to sleep. And then over here, again, if you want to socialise in a nice quiet area, just under the stairs here, you've got two very comfy couches that you can sit down on. Nice little candle there, if it's a nice little nighttime nook for reading you want. Sits there. And of course, since it's night time, how many people can you sleep at Peaceful Acres? Well, let's have a look. Up here are originally a few beds. It comes in at comfort level 13 when you first arrive. Obviously the comfort level is a lot more now, since I've added all these lovely decorations and things. So as you can see, again I personalised the areas. So Fergus area, he's got his extra farmer's costume there. He has change of clothes, and here we have Valen Glen, the hunter. You can see he has his bow up on the wall, his daggers on the back there. Each of them has a chest. I wish you could get those closed. Unfortunately, they all come that when you place them, they open. Wish that you could place them closed. There's a lovely little area again for those that want to sit down, maybe read. Two fires up here to keep them warm. Helios Riki there. Again, I assume I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm not really sure. Helios Riki, Helios Risi, however it's pronounced. And there you can see he has a set of daggers on the wall. I don't actually know what weapons he uses, if he uses any, but obviously the designer here. This is the captain's bed, and you can tell he's got his spare coat over there. So he's got some of his best catches up behind the bed, on the wall there. And here we have the lumberjack's outfit, because this is the bed and sleeping area for Aunt Braylin. You can see her axe up on the wall, bow as well, and a shield. Since she was an explorer before, I assume she knows how to take care of herself. And I've forgotten her name. The blacksmith's daughter is Oswald's daughter. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten her name, but you can see she has a shield and a club up on the wall. Probably would have been more fitting to have put a hammer for her. But there you go. And there we have Valerie, the bard. She has a harp up on the wall there. Daggers over at the side. Obviously they do have little personal areas where they can put all their stuff. There she has the explorer's outfit as well. There's the extra blacksmith's outfit, uniform. And obviously a bathroom just at the end here. Again, I decided to try and make it a nice warm sort of bathroom area. Use some of the original chimney stack there. Shower. Bath. Sink for washing your hands and that in just there. A couple of cabinets for fresh linen. And a lavatory for, well, you know what you're doing in there. Full-length mirror. Just so you can check how you look before you go out. That's the sleeping area. I was almost tempted to try and put some skylights up the top there. I was tempted. Obviously something you could add if you really wanted to do that. A couple of emblems up there. Now, obviously, we need to take a look. And yes, where have I put the alchemy area? Where do you think? Safest place to put it. Down in the heart of stone, in the cellar, we have Lady Claire. She's taking care of business down here, as you can see. The laboratory, alchemy lab, some of the Hollow Halls trophies just there. Quite a few bits and pieces there for her scientific studies, for her alchemy, potion creation. And of course we're using the bronze blocks here, a mix of bronze and copper flooring and that here, so if anything goes wrong, even if that were to have an accident and explode, it would all be contained in there. Fingers crossed. Otherwise there's a lot of wood above us. I created this table, I don't know, I felt it was fitting, and I sunk the laboratory in there as well. Just made it look, you know, sort of the scientific, so you've got all your different potion fluids and everything running through there. Look at potion ingredients on the side there, you know, just to be sure. Pestle and mortar. Moving along here. Over here, this is Alden's desk. We'll get to him in a while. I'm sure Lady Claire also uses this. As you can see, you have the diagrams up above. Two snakes overlooking. That's not ominous, is it? Two snakes overlooking with old beady one eye up there. That's rich coming from me, considering I only have one eye. Well, I have two. It's just that one works, one doesn't. There we go. There's a small desk area there for working on. And yes, I decided to make a little cupboard here. So I put all these items on. I thought, what's it missing? What should we do? So yes, I just used a couple of windows there, put them over the top. It's almost like a little cupboard. I like the way, because it's windows, unfortunately you can't open and close them, but you can still see through them to see what's inside. Now, Lady Claire's area, this is where she sleeps. This is rather more luxurious than everybody else gets. You notice everybody else has got a small area to themselves here, you know. She has outfit there. She has a full little, you know, area to put her hair, her wigs and everything else on. Little dressing table, desk there. Yep, her own bed area. I mean, compared to everybody else, she's got, look, she hasn't she? Starlight blocks for the ceiling, hollow halls, walls there, and also that's the obsidian blocks used at the top to frame it. I don't know why you're standing like that, lady. It's not like I'm about to attack you or anything. Two wands and her favourite staff up on the wall, and of course a small area for keeping herself clean and doing what she needs to do. Wardrobe for clothes. Like I said, there's a definite, you know, definite level of luxury going on in here that nobody else has. But hey, you know, when you're relegated to the basement, you got to make the best of it, right? And as for Alden, well, yes, of course. Out of sight, out of mind, right? He has his favourite books in here. Staves up on the wall. Let's just shuffle over to the corner and take a full look. You can see he has his Hollow's Eve costume just over here. And this is where Alden does all of his soul siphoning. These are upside down tombs, by the way, that I've just I've just turned them upside down, pushed them into the floor and made this as a kind of stand. I like the design on the side of that coffin, so I've pushed that into the wall behind this. I just really like that motif. I think it goes really well with it. Ectoplasm block behind. There we go. Sorry for disturbing you, Alden. We'll leave you to it, mate. You get on with whatever beepy stuff you're doing. What a creepy guy. Sorry, lady, we'll leave you to it as well. I know, what is it with me and closing doors? Just can't do it. So that's it. That's a final look at the basement there. He says, almost walking into the banister. Like I said, when I first came to this place, it's all smashed up, it's all ruined. You have to fix the upstairs, you have to fix the downstairs here. You can put different flooring, you can try and put the same. And I just wasn't happy with the rough cut stone flooring. Hence why I did all of this. I wanted to make it a little bit neater, a little bit more luxurious. And since we're about to end this, let's put the HUD on. What did I do with it in the end? There you go, comfort level of 100. That's really not too bad. I mean, I think the maximum level at the moment is 117, so we're not too bad there. Not too bad at all. Almost an hour of buffs. So that is what you could do with Peaceful Acres. Like I said, a fully fledged farm. Here you have the animal pens outside, you have the fields at the top, you have a house to rebuild, and you have a barn that you can turn into a workshop area. But really, I mean, it's up to you what you do with the place. Just because I've done this with this, you can take any ideas from here, you know, rebuild it in the way you would want to. And rebuild it in a way that suits yourself and suits your gaming style. But either way, that's what I've done. I hope you got maybe a few ideas from it. I hope you liked what you saw. As I said, I always try to build pretty but practical. And so, yeah, if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you comment, obviously I will get back to you in the comments. Sometimes it takes me a little while these days due to time, but I do get back to everybody and yeah, and write back to you personally. So thank you very much. If you liked what you saw, please do leave a like. If you'd like to see more of this sort of content, then please do subscribe. I do a lot of things to do with Enshrouded and other games, and it would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, with that, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon or night, started tripping over myself there, I hope you're well, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves. But until next time, that's goodbye from me.